I think it's always useful to come back and clarify exactly what we mean when we use the word mindfulness, because there are so many different definitions and approaches and beliefs that people have about this practice. And for me, it's the simple act of moving attention from thinking to awareness. Now, we start that by moving attention from thinking to direct experience. That's how we all learn. So we start our lives, and then we're conditioned to pay attention to the thoughts and stories that go through our heads. And we're conditioned to believe them, to treat them as important, to pay attention to them above even our actual daily life experience, which is pretty crazy when you say it like that. So our first step as mindfulness students is to break that habit and to shift from paying attention to those words and pictures in our heads to actually noticing what's happening in our body, what's happening in our surroundings, and then learning to observe those stories from a distance instead of being so hypnotized by them. Now, a lot of mindfulness instruction pretty well stops there. So the purpose then is to continue to get better at concentrating and paying attention to what is, and that's totally fine. But what I've discovered as I've practiced is that we can go another step and then direct that attention, which we now have a little bit of, not control, but we can determine where that attention goes a little bit more. We can direct that attention back within ourselves and start to ask the question, what actually am I? Who am I? What is going on in my inner world? Because again, we've been conditioned to believe that we are the story in our heads. That's me. That I that's referred to continuously is me. But if I'm watching those thoughts, if I'm watching those stories, clearly that's not who I am. So I started to get curious about, well, what am I then? Okay, I could say I'm this awareness, but I want to actually experience that. I want to examine that through my practice and really understand what on earth is going on inside me. And so that's the next step that we can take in our practice, is to go beyond just concentration and use that newfound power of concentration to really start to explore our inner world and find out what's true for you. And if you're up for that, it's a hell of a journey. I'm still on it, and I hope we can continue it together. Thanks for watching.